Scottish Palestine Solidarity Campaign, I'm sure will be known to all of you. Can I introduce Mick Napier?
Friends, the murder of thousands of Palestinians and the murder of aid workers has to be punished, and only you and I can punish the murderers, because the British government is praising them. Where did this culture of impunity come from? How did the Israelis learn that they can kill and steal and murder and oppress? They learned it over many years because the British government always allowed them to do it. The American government always allowed them to do it, and they learned that they could always get away with it. Well, those days are over, and we'll make sure those days are over. I saw somebody in this crowd. I saw somebody in this crowd with a Hezbollah flag. Now I have to say, I wish I had brought mine. Hezbollah is officially a terrorist organisation on a British list. To hell with the list. You can look at articles in The Guardian. You can easily find out that young Jewish kids in this country go for the summer to work with the Israeli murderers in the West Bank and elsewhere. This is completely illegal. Britain has a law that says no citizen can ever sign up with a foreign army at war with a country we're not at war with. We're not at war with bloody Syria. Israel is. So why the hell do British kids openly join the Israeli army? The government knows about it. Lothian and Borders Police know about it. But don't hold your breath for any arrests, because the culture of impunity is wide and deep and has gone on for a very, very long time. They murdered the aid workers. If anybody doubts it, I saw with my own eyes in the West Bank people moving rubble around a clinic which the Israelis had dumped rubble around to make access to the clinic difficult. And I stood behind some swine, because I walked away from the demonstration up to the Israeli soldiers, and this swine was standing, pointing his high-velocity rifle at these completely unarmed, peaceful demonstrators trying to clear a way into a clinic in a Palestinian village. And he was ready to kill. We saw the guy shooting a Palestinian blindfolded in the foot because somebody happened to have a video camera handy. Usually there are no video cameras, and the murder and the mayhem continues, and the British government continues to send guns. Now listen, those F-16s have British components. They couldn't fly without those British components. The British government, from Balfour to Tony Blair, the man of peace in the Middle East, to Gordon Brown, and now Cameron. We've moved away from the B's to a C. Cameron says Israel behaved with great restraint during Operation Cast Lead. You know what you can expect from him. Friends, I'm going to just say a couple of simple things. Don't get mad, get even. We have to punish Israel. And the way to punish them is to make sure Eden Springs is a dirty brand that cannot be drunk and cannot be bought by your university, local authority or health board. To make sure that Veolia, which has lost billions in contracts for violating Palestinian human rights, doesn't shift the garbage in Dundee or Glasgow or Aberdeen or anywhere else. Boycott is the way to get them in the wallet, and boycott's the way we can punish the Israelis. Now, I was arrested recently for racism. 5 people in this audience here were on trial for racism. Racism! When I heard about it, I danced a jig. Imagine to be accused of racism for opposing a vicious apartheid state where Jews are superior to Arabs from birth to death. where 94% of Israel, Arabs can't buy land, lease land, sometimes sleep overnight, where Archbishop Tutu says compared to Palestine, what happened in South Africa was a picnic. To be accused of racism for opposing this, thank God Sheriff Scott laughed the whole thing out of court. But there are young guys being sent down in London for 1 year, 2 years for throwing an empty water bottle at the Israeli embassy. I'm not going to say here what I would like to have thrown at the Israeli embassy and what the contents of it would have been, but it wouldn't have been empty. And now, but I want to say something serious. They're being sent down for solidarity with Gaza. They're being criminalised. They're in prison tonight as we speak for solidarity with Gaza. And Judge Dennis, who sent them down, had an Israeli in his court last year. He sentenced them in December for killing a London policeman. He sentenced the Israeli to 100 hours community service. Don't imagine we're going to get a fair shake from the courts. Friends, please stick your money in those orange buckets. Please come to the meetings next week, not to discuss how evil Israel is, we're fed up with that, but to get even and to punish Israel and to level the playing field. I'm absolutely sure that Palestine one day is going to be free. There's a Mandela Square in Glasgow. Shamefully there's none here. There will be a Palestine Square and we'll dance there.
Thank you, Mick. Thank you. As ever, can I now introduce Maggie Chapman, Green Councillor.